So a few years ago, Oprah Winfrey asked viewers to share their 6-word memoir. Mine is Seamstress's Daughter, College Sewed Future Together. My mother, the seamstress, is graceful, smart, and fearless. My mom only had a 6th grade education, and she had a pretty challenging life. She got married at 15 years of age, had 3 children, and only 6 years later, her husband died in a tragic car accident. She was left to raise 3 children all by herself and found that the only way she could do that was to leave Mexico, leaving my 2 brothers and sister behind so that she could find work and send money back home. I'm lucky that I can't even imagine what that experience was like. She sacrificed everything and knew that the biggest payoff would be for her children and her grandchildren. Her boldness and courage completely changed the course of my life and that of my children. Around that same time in the 1960s here in California, our state leaders were forced with the challenge of preparing the next generation. In their case, the baby boomers were coming of age. In response, the best public colleges and universities in the nation were created under the Master Plan for Higher Education of 1960. They made a choice to send record numbers of baby boomers to college. The Master Plan reflected an understanding that education has the power to help people realize their personal and professional potential and ultimately contribute to the state's economy and innovation. The Master Plan promised all Californians that they could go to college and that it would be affordable, regardless of whether they enrolled in one of the 113 community colleges, or one of the 23 Cal State campuses, or one of the 12 world-class research institutions of the University of California. The plan hugely expanded higher education in California and led to the emergence of renowned universities like Cal and UCLA. California's Master Plan for Higher Education was the shining example for the nation and the world, and it produced innovation and a strong workforce which catapulted our state into an economic powerhouse. But today I'm here to tell you we need a new commitment and vision for higher education that produces more college graduates for our economy and keeps the promise of college opportunity, regardless of your race or zip code. This morning, the Campaign for College Opportunity is releasing a statewide report card on the current status of higher education in California. The grades are in, and we should all be very concerned. Across critical markers, college preparation, access, affordability, and completion, the net effect is we are failing our students and robbing the state of its economic potential. The effects are real. One study found that young adults in California are less likely to graduate from college than their parents. Let that sink in. Young adults in California are less likely to graduate from college than their parents. Are we leaving things better or worse for the next generation? Growing up in LA, we didn't have much money, but my mom found a way to encourage my education by giving me $20 for every A I brought home on my report card. For someone making $3.35 an hour, the minimum wage at the time, that gesture spoke volumes about how much she valued my educational success. There was an expectation that I would take my education seriously because it represented my opportunity for advancement. When it came time to apply for college, UC San Diego was my dream school. Luckily, I also got into Pitzer College. Their financial aid package made it the most affordable place I could go. In my experience, that's how poor kids made and still make decisions about where to go to college. My mom's hard work, sacrifice, and struggle led me to be the first in my family to go to college, and ultimately gave me the freedom to make choices and determine my own academic and professional path, choices my mother never had. Many of us know what it feels like to embody the hopes and dreams of our parents who come to this country in search of a better life for their children, that next generation. What lies ahead for Californians, for our future generations? Regrettably, California faces a shortage of college-educated workers. California's higher education system is not keeping pace with the economy's changing needs. An educated workforce is essential to meeting the demands of California's economy, especially to retain California's status as the 6th largest economy in the world. Today, less than half of all adults have a college degree or credential. But a growing demand for a more educated workforce means we must ensure that a clear majority of adults, 60%, have a degree or credential by 2025. That means California must produce 1.7 million more degrees over the next decade. And it cannot be done without a significant increase in college access and success, and without closing the gaps in educational attainment between white students and California's new majority, Latino students. In fact, California's future depends on our ability to ensure true educational opportunity for all of our residents. California's best shot at closing its workforce gap will be to grow the number of college graduates. After all, education is the single best economic equalizer. So are we leaving the next generation better off in California? Like my mom, I believe in the limitless potential of our children. I want my own children to go to college. And I want their friends, who like me would be the first in their families, to go to college too. I want your kids to go to college. There's a perfect storm brewing in California. More students want to go to college, and the state needs more of them to go. In the 1960s, our state leaders invested and created a public college and university system that was a model for the world. The only question that matters for today's leaders is whether or not they will channel the audacious spirit that once fueled the founding of California's colleges and universities and put forward a new vision, followed by clear action on that vision that reflects today's economic needs and serves all groups of Californians equally. Who has the power to make this vision a reality? All of us. We can demand that our elected officials set a new course for higher education that moves California to earning an A. So what does an A mean? It means all high school students graduate and are prepared to succeed in college. It means all students who choose to go to college have a spot in a California college or university. It means students who enroll in college complete their degree, certificate, or transfer. It means that college remains affordable for all of our families. And it means innovation in California thrives and our economy is robust. It means stubborn gaps in educational attainment by race and zip code are erased. Why is it our responsibility? We are all interconnected. We are all Californians, and we want to live in a strong, successful, and economically powerful state together. Most parents dream of a brighter future for their children, and that dream starts with the promise of a college education. A new vision for higher education is an investment in our future. We can leave things better for the next generation of Californians. So please take the time to review our new report card on higher education. Take a look at what we measured, where we are today, where we need to be in just 10 short years. If you agree that we can and must raise the grades, then I urge you to add your name to our petition, calling on California elected leaders to develop a vision for higher education that gets us on the path to raising the grades. Our future depends on it.